Uh, you know, we just want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Here at Marketers Mastermind, through Chad and Paul, we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you hanging out here with us. It's been a lot of fun. We're really excited to do this every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark it down on your calendars, put it in your phone, whatever you got to do. If you find value in these trainings, please share it with your circle of friends, because our intention here is to reach the masses, to be able to help motivate and inspire other people from around the world. So feel free to share it with everybody you know. We greatly appreciate it. Another point I want to make here real quick. Paul is monitoring everything below the video. That's set up there for you to ask questions, leave your feedback, do, whatever you want to comment in there. Just make sure it's not negative, because we don't deal with negativity, and, it's just going to get thrown out of there. But, anything you want, any questions you have, please feel free to ask them. Paul monitors that, except for when he's talking. It's kind of hard for him to do that. But we appreciate all you guys coming. Today's topic is awesome. It's on self-reflection. It's about holding yourself accountable for your business, for your life. You are responsible for your actions, and on that, if you've been here before, we kind of go round robin. So we're going to let the real Chad Cook give his input on self-reflection. So, Chad, when you're ready, my man, take it away.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it. Paul, appreciate it, man. I appreciate the both of you. You guys don't know how much I'm so grateful of you guys and this team and this business. You guys know how I do. I like to give gratitude first. So, first and foremost, guys, thank you guys so much for coming out today and taking the time out to hopefully pick up some golden nuggets and some value that will help your minds and your business. Because that's why we do it, guys, is we donate our time to help you. So that's why we're here. So we appreciate you coming out. But yeah, as far as today's topic, self-reflection, I figured that would be a pretty darn good topic, because the whole point of this business, guys, is we want to prevent you out there from making the same mistakes we've all made. And that's just simply not taking the time to step outside of ourselves and looking down at our own actions from a bird's eye view, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. You know how when you're all the way up at the top of the mountain, how you can see the landscape that's so beautiful and you can see the details? Well, mentally, that's kind of how you have to become if you wish to develop yourself, not only as a person, but for your business and your team, because your team is counting on you until they get comfortable in learning the ropes, so to speak. But everybody, we all want to start to realize that, we want to change the situation that we're in, whether we're struggling in our business or in our personal lives. We want that changed, right? So the first thing we have to change is ourselves. We all know that. But in a matter of changing ourselves effectively, guys, we must first have to change our perception, which is basically why this topic is what it is. It's self-reflection. See, without self-reflection, guys, what we're doing is we're limiting ourselves on much greater things that's going to be coming, okay? And what I mean by self-reflection is, honestly, it's a form of paradigms. I don't know if you guys studied up on what paradigms actually is, but paradigms is a real powerful, because it's basically, I guess, to paint the picture for you, paradigms is the lens that we see, how we see the world. It's the actual lens, and it's our perception of our thoughts and our mentality, okay? So depending how we shift our paradigms, depends on the power of the change and how effective it's going to become. Okay, so if we want to change, then we need to work on how we see things, the perception, our behavior, things of that nature. Okay, you know, I'll put it like this. There's a story I read in a book once. I like to read a lot, plus I like to listen to a lot of positive audios. But one thing I kind of like remember the most is, in the words of Thurl, for every 1,000 hacking at the leaves of negativity, there's always one striking at the root. Okay? Now, if you kind of put that into a visual form from those words, what that really means, guys, is we can only make improvements in our lives and our business if we quit hacking at the leaves of the attitude, the behavior, not only in ourselves, but from other people. Okay? And we just got to just straight get to the core of the problem, work on the root, and that's ourselves. You know, that's where self-reflection comes in. That's the root of all things. That's the root of success. That's the root of evil, is their paradigms, which is the perception, which is, metaphorically speaking, the lens on how we see the world. And that's really how I see it. Hopefully that helps you guys, because that's just my opinion. I'll let Ed, pick it back up, but at the same time, I'm very curious to see what Paul and Ed has to say about that. But I'm going to keep it brief, guys. But bottom line is this: is start reflecting on yourselves if you wish to see any kind of development or improvement, and start with yourselves. That's where the core problem really is going to find the solution. Okay. I'm Chad Cook. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it away, bud.
All right, brother. Man, I was waiting for you to keep going and going and going, man. I'm down here writing notes, and then you're passing it back. I was like, whoa, Chad Cook. Great job, brother. Yeah, I mean, he's talking about the perception being the lens, and the root being you, being yourself, and that was powerful. And that was something that I haven't read, so I'm glad that you shared that personally, and it makes so much sense. The root, the foundation of your life starts with you. I mean, and that's why we picked self-reflection, and you're probably going to hear a lot of the same things coming from us, but like Chad, which he didn't do today. Chad's the real Chad Cook, and he likes to lay it down and be straight and all that stuff, and that's kind of the way that I'm going to go with self-reflection. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and let the Mr. Paul Filardo jump in, give his take on it. We're going to pass it back and forth here. I'm sure we'll be thinking of some things and in between as each of us talks. So, Paul, man, great to have you, and take it away.
Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Chad. It's always amazing trying to follow the real Chad Cook. I'll tell you, he just blows it up every time, which is awesome. Keep it up, keep it up. And just thank you guys, and thank you everyone who's watching this now. We all appreciate you coming out and taking in our trainings and taking to heart what we have to say. We do this all for you, and we appreciate each and every one of you, really. So self-reflection. I'm just going to jump right into it. When I started promoting this webcast, I put kind of a warning on it, saying that it may upset some people, and some people may not like what they hear. It depends on the kind of person you are, really, because here's the deal. If you go through life and you're blaming people, events, things, whatever, that things aren't going your way, that's a problem, okay? That's where you need the self-reflection. You need to look within yourself, because all the negativity and everything, for the most part, comes from within. don't try to place blame on external factors because they have nothing to do with you as a person. This goes for whether you're in business like we all are in or in your personal life, honestly. I mean, before I even got into business, you could I could see negative people. I actually have a good story about self-reflection. Before I started doing internet marketing full-time, I was working a job, which was leaving me just over broke, by the way. And every year I would organize a Biggest Loser competition. For those of you who may not know, Biggest Loser is a big TV show where they compete who can lose the most amount of weight. So, we kind of did that where I work. Everyone would throw in $10 in the beginning, and whoever lost the greatest percentage of weight after so many weeks, I think it was 12 weeks, would win the pot, right? And it was a friendly competition. We all encouraged each other, and for the most part, it was great. But I was in charge. I had the scale at my desk, so every Monday morning, people would have to come to me to weigh in. And for the most part, I put on a pound or two, ha ha ha. It's not a big deal, all right. It's all in fun, But every Monday there was this one woman who would come in, and even before she stepped on the scale, oh, I know I put on weight. Oh, I don't know how anyone can do this. It's not fair. I went to the fair this weekend and I had this and that. That's okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, enjoy yourself. I mean, I'm the first one when I go out. I'm going to eat, and I'm not really going to think about it. But don't try to blame the fare that you put on a pound or two. Go out and do what it takes. I mean, if the rest of the week cut back, eat healthier. We all used to walk at lunch. Come with us and walk with us at lunch. Get a little exercise. I didn't say that to her, but but it was all. If she looked within herself, she'd realize that it's not the fare's fault. It's not the food's fault that she's putting on weight. It's her attitude and just all the negativity. Everything she could think of was negative. Every time she opened her mouth, it was negative. It's so and so's fault. It's his fault. It's her fault. And when it came down to it, at the end of the 12 weeks or whatever the competition was, most people, lost a couple pounds. It was a friendly competition. She was like a little bit higher, and of course it wasn't her fault. Look at yourself before you start blaming other things. Okay, it all comes from within. Look within yourself, make adjustments as needed, and you'll be amazed. That's an example of on a personal level. I mean, we're all here, internet marketing business. Chad, Ed, myself, we're all in a power network. I think Ed will talk about that a little bit later. But this whole self-reflection is huge in our business as well, because we all have sponsors. The three of us are all leaders here, and within our team, we have a lot of awesome leaders. But we see it all the time when a new member will come in, and they'll give it a week or whatever, and they're not seeing the results they expect yet, and right away you can kind of get the feeling of who's going to stick around, who's not. But it always comes down to blame. These people that drop off, it always comes down to blame. It's never their fault. It's always either the sponsor's fault or the company's fault or the fault of this or the fault of that. But look around you, because there's a lot of people on this team that are succeeding, and you'll also see that those same people that are succeeding are not making excuses for themselves. They're not blaming other people when they were having struggles. They were saying, okay, what am I doing wrong that I can change? And that's all part of self-reflection. And I've heard, I can't remember who said it before, but when you point your finger at someone, you have three fingers pointing right back at you, and that really nails the whole self-reflection thing. So I mean, that, like Chad, I mean, right to the point, keep it short and sweet, and I hope you get some value out of that, and send it back to you, Ed.
Hey, great job, man. I love the Biggest Loser story, man. That was cool. That was really cool. So that was something you guys did every year in your office?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, I used to watch The Biggest Loser. I found it a real inspirational show. There's very few things that I would watch on TV, but for a few seasons I was watching that show because I personally found it inspirational. So I kind of brought it into the office. There were some some folks like myself that are big boned, would like to lose a couple pounds. So I thought it was a great idea, and it was all friendly, and there was a money element, not a lot of money. I mean, everybody put in $10, and there were probably about 10 or 15 people who got in it. So it was all in fun for the most part. Most of us had a good time with it, and then there were like one or two who like what I explained would freak out every Monday morning when they had to step on the scale.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, look at yourself within, and that is what self-reflection is all about. You have to kind of take a step back and come out of your body, turn around and look at yourself. And there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. You have to be in a position in your life that you are comfortable in making decisions about changing different aspects of your life. And it's hard, especially if you're living in a stressful environment. And let's just say your finances are crap. And I'm going to talk like this about how Lisa and I were years ago before I started out, in the network marketing online business. When you're in a stressful environment like that, and you have so much negative stuff going on in your life, it's a whole lot different environment, and it's a whole lot different way for you to actually have self-reflection, because until you get yourself in a position where you're not in that stressful negative environment, it's very hard to make positive decisions. And I hope I'm making sense here. Am I making sense, guys? Yeah? Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta chop that off. But self-reflecting when you're in a negative, stressful environment is much different than self-reflecting when you are in a positive, unstressful atmosphere. And I hope that makes sense. I may not be able to pinpoint exactly where I'm going with this, but it's all about evaluating where you're at, where you want to be. The situation that you're in is going to, again, be different based upon your situation. Because I know from experience that back when Lisa and I were struggling and things were tough, yes, I did make the decision that we weren't going to live like this anymore, and that's when I started my journey on changing our financial situation. Now, back then, all it was financial for me. I wasn't looking at anything else but making money. Now, I did make some money, and things were going well. I mean, I left the job of 18 years, valet parking cars. But it wasn't anything like it is today. It's so much more different because I don't look at the money anymore. And now I'm able to help my team and help other people understand that, yes, you're getting in business to make money. But when you realize that it's not just the money that you're trying to establish or create, it's you. It's all about you. You becoming more passionate, becoming more motivating. Your ego, which a lot of people have, has dropped because you start to understand that you're becoming a better self, a better you. Everything changes around you. And I hope that makes sense, because I kind of got off on whatever the heck it was I was going to talk about. But the bottom line is, listen, you are responsible for everything that you do in your life. And in turn, you are responsible for any actions that come from those decisions. Okay? It's very important to take time to reflect on yourself. Reflect where you're at. Are you displaying negativity, or are you displaying positive things? And then once you are honest with yourself and you can answer that question, yeah, you know, I'm always talking negative bull crap. I'm always talking negative about this situation and that situation. Then take a second to realize why all the negativity continues to stay in your life. It's because all you reflect, all you put out there is negativity. So that's what you're going to get. So now when you understand that and you see that about yourself, now like Paul and Chad said, now you have to take a different approach and you have to do things differently in order to get a different result. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, and I hope it made sense. I hope you got a little bit of value out of that. And again, it's all about you. It's all about just making the decisions to have a better life, then taking the actions, and it can happen. So, yeah, I think that's all about all I wanted to touch on here, guys. Anything else you guys want to add, or do you just want to kind of go into a closing mode? You know, some closing statements, and then we'll finish up, or whatever. I mean, if you guys have something to add, certainly go ahead and do that. So we'll flip it over to the real Chad Cook, who's just been sitting there all calm, cool, and collected, man. Over to you, brother.
I appreciate it, Dad. I appreciate it, Brian. Yeah, actually, there was a reason why I was straight, short, sweet, and to the point at the very beginning. There's a logic behind it, guys, because there's a lot of thoughts that's just been accumulated to the point to where it's got to get released, guys. You guys got to really know the truth. If you're going to get involved in an internet business, or if you're already involved in the internet business, what I'm about to say, you might want to start taking notes real quick, because I'm going to break it down scientifically for you just for a second, okay? Okay. First of all, when Ed was talking about, you know, Paul was talking about his, you know, he gave a great story and a great simile on certain things, and Ed was getting in about stressful situations. Guys, first of all, I don't want to hear about no stressful situations, okay? Because I got a little story myself, guys. Try living, you know, having a very large family with a lot of children, which is great children, by the way. But try being crammed up into a hotel-like environment and trying to focus on your vision. Try to focus on your business and remain positive when all this negative crap is coming your way in every possible direction. Now just picture yourself in that type of atmosphere, and let's see how well you can manage, okay? The reason why I know it's possible, guys, is because I've overcame it, my wife has overcame it, our children has overcame it. Okay, so I don't want to hear any excuses about, oh, you can't do this, I can't do this because of this person, or I can't excel in my business, I can't change the way I think. It's because it's that person's problem, or it's because this happened. That's a load of crap. It can happen, and the reason why I know it can happen, guys, is because it's how you channel your thoughts. Okay, Eric Thomas says it best, guys. You gotta want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. And basically, how I translate that is you got to know where you're going. Your mind is your map. Okay? If I'm going to spend my entire day or even minutes throughout my day pointing fingers, and if someone, if someone on my team or someone's thinking about getting on my team wants to, be in this business for a week and they don't apply certain steps or they don't even put effort whatsoever to utilize the tools that's just handed to you on a silver platter, and you want to point the finger at me or Ed or Paul or Tissa or anybody else on our team, I got one finger for you as well. And I don't mean to sound rude, guys, but that's my thoughts and my theory on it as well. Now, let's get to the real core of the problem. You are the problem if that's your perception, and if you just constantly want to blame somebody else for the lack of effort you put forward. Okay? So I overcame the stressful environment, guys. Hell, it was hard. It was so hard. You don't understand. I mean, being crammed up, I felt, I'm not, number one, just kind of give you something real about myself. I was kind of just thrown into the mix, not being adjusted or baby step into a large family all at once. I knew God would allow me to handle it, and, it's the best blessing. Honestly, I can sit there and look back and reflect, and it's the best blessing I could have is, my wife has taught me a lot, our children, which is, my stepchildren, but I consider them as my children as well. They taught me a lot as well. And, we can either use our obstacles as a crutch to depend on and use as an excuse, or we can take our pain, we can take these obstacles and use them to our advantage. It just depends on what type of person you are. And if you're the type of person right now that you don't know your capabilities just yet, don't worry. You might have that potential to where deep inside your heart, you know you can do it, you just don't know how. You don't have the right direction or the right person that's willing to take the time out and just grab you by your ears and talk to the inner champion inside of you. And that's where this personal development, that's where Ed, that's where Paul and myself come into play, guys. It's because we've already made the mistake, so that way we can prevent you from making 90% of the ones we have. Now, don't get us wrong. We're not here to cuddle you, and we're not here to hold your hand because, let's face it, our wives would be pretty pissed off if we did that to you, right? But, bottom line is, guys, look, you have got to reflect on yourself. Don't sit there and tell me that, it's because of your situation. It's because of the lack of finances. Guys, if that's what you're going to constantly just dwell on, then you're going to keep, like Ed said, you're going to keep attracting that to you. And your environment, your situation is never going to change. So, you got to be the change, guys. And what I did to help me when we was like crammed up into a hotel like environment, guys, is I would channel out all the negative. Anything negative, I would just completely block out, and I would use work as an outlet because that's a positive enforcement. And I just kept learning and learning and learning until I developed myself and my mentality enough to the point to where it's like anything negative is just basically just bouncing right off of me. It's like it's not even phasing me. And, that's how I start with the team that joining my business as well as Paul and Ed's business, is we all are kind of formed together just so you can kind of, I guess, get the experience, and because you're not feeling it yet because you're not involved yet, but just to kind of put it out there, you really want to know the experience that we get to deal with every single day, guys, is imagine you recruited somebody, right? And let's say that you don't quite know, you're stuck on one particular thing on how to help your downline. Well, guess what? I might know it, Ed might know something, Paul might know something, somebody in our team along the lines is going to know something. Therefore, that takes the pressure off of you to have to be forced to know it all. Okay, you don't have to know it all. And you could utilize our team and our leadership to not only develop you as a person and into a potential leader, but we can also help you with your team and at the same time utilize the tools that's given to you to duplicate your team and duplicate your business. And that's where every one of us kind of forms together and helps one another and surround yourself with a positive, family-like atmosphere to where, listen, you jump into our business, you're not going to have a choice but to change yourself. Because you got to want it. We can't force you to want the improvement. You got to want that. You know what I mean? Is that making sense so far, guys? It's just, bottom line is your mind has to be clear, okay? And it's all based on perception, on how one person thinks. It's not so much your actions, it's your reactions. So if something is going to happen and occur in your life, and let's face it, until we build our minds up to the point enough to where negativity ricochets right off of us, until we get to that point, guys, then it's how we're going to see the problem. And speaking of problem, guys, it's the way we see the problem sometimes is the problem. Just to make it clear one more time, sometimes the way we see the problem is the problem. So, and on that note, guys, some of you out there, I'm seeing it, and I'm going to call it how it is. I'm not going to hold back on my punches. You can only get so far with pretending to be something you're not, okay? A lot of us leaders out here, we can see the difference, guys. You don't have to pretend. You can simply be yourself. You can have a life. You don't have to sit in front of the computer all day. You can actually have a life. You do have to bust your ass. Don't get me wrong on this. It's not an easy way out. You do have to bust your ass. You do have to put in that time and effort that's required. But at the same time, if you don't know everything, guys, you don't have to. And don't be ashamed to letting your team know, or letting your mentor, your leader, or whoever it is out there, whether they're on your team or not, don't be ashamed to let that person know, where you're at in life, where you're at in your business, because, that's only going to allow you to develop. We all can admit that we're not perfect. I'm far from it. Ed, Paul, we're not perfect. But you know what? Throughout the experience, the trials and tribulations that we've learned, you never know. The value that we've learned could obviously, help you. So on that note, guys, just don't be ashamed of anything that you do. You are the best version of you. So on that note, just sometimes take a step back and just kind of reflect on how you're reacting to certain things that happen in your life, how you're reacting to certain people that are contacting you on social network sites, and just start being more open-minded. That's really the best approach that you can take, is just be more open-minded, and don't be scared to admit, the flaws that you have, and just be yourself, and it's amazing how far you can become and how more further and how faster you can develop. I mean, for Christ's sake, look at me. Years ago, I spent, 4 or 5 years in affiliate marketing, bouncing around, trying to learn education, trying to learn this and that on the YouTube channel, multiple YouTube videos, and talking to several different types of people that had several different types of formulas. It didn't work for me, guys. I was bouncing. I was like Tigger. I was bouncing all over the place. Didn't know what direction I was going in, and it just didn't make sense. And it's just, by the grace of God, something told me when I just let my guard down, opened up, and just put my ego to the side and just be like, I've got to learn this, because this is the only hope I have. This is the only opportunity I have to help somebody and benefit myself and my family. Thank God I did that. Thank God for Empower Network. has built me into a leader that I know I am, and I've always have been. To be honest with you, I just didn't know how to use it. I didn't know. I had the tools all along, just like all of you watching right now have the same tools because we're all granted the same 24 hours. Everybody has the same tools, guys, but at the same time, some people might not know how to use them. And that's where our business comes into play. We kind of shape and mold you to where you are comfortable helping other people. And it's like putting yourself through college. And I'm going to end it on this note. I know I keep rambling on. That's me. And that's what you was expecting, right? It's just me talk, talk, talk. Well, I'm going to end it on this note right here, guys. You know, I'm going to give you two different. I'm not going to I'm going to try my best not to paraphrase it, but word for word, it's going to be hard to remember this. But bear with me. Okay, I was talking to my wife yesterday, and her and I had a long discussion on improving our lives as well. We like to do that from time to time, and it's important. But you know, one of the quotes that we went over was, you know, I believe it was made from Abraham Lincoln. He said basically that, you know, if you're granted 4 hours to cut down a tree, then he'd rather spend 3 hours sharpening his axe. What that means for me, guys, and everybody I'm sure has a different perception, that falls back to paradigms again, based on how you look at it, your perception, is the way I see it, guys, is if you're in the right business with the right people, how can you go wrong with developing yourself and equipping yourself with the right tools, and more importantly, sharpening those tools that you already have to excel in your life and your business? How can you go wrong with that? So, I mean, if that doesn't make sense, then no problem, guys. Maybe this business isn't right for you. However, if you can see the logic in that, guys, then, guys, invest $25 in yourself and simply click on the little button and jump in and surround yourself around family that will care for you, that will support you, that will help you, and put you on the right track. You deserve it. And Bruce Lee once said as well that I don't fear a man that learns 10,000 kicks. I fear the man that mastered one kick. So this is your business that you should master. Master one thing at a time, and that's simply mastering yourselves. That's really all I want to say. Always take time to reflect on your actions, your reactions, and start reading, learning about paradigms, guys. And on that note, if you're serious about your business, reach out to Ed, Paul, myself, or anybody from Team Tissa, for that matter. We're here to help you guys. All right, that's my time. That's all I really want to say. Thank you so much for everybody for listening. Listen to me keep rambling on. I apologize, but I'll see everybody at the top because it's starting to get a little too crowded at the bottom. Make it a great day, guys.
All right, I guess it's my turn. That was amazing, and I just want to put it out there that there are going to be two kinds of people listening that are going to take what Chad said two different ways. There are going to be the people who do have that negative kind of mindset, who are always looking at the external stuff and blaming the external stuff, and they're going to have that aha moment, and they're going to realize, you know something, it's all inside, and I can make a change. And then there's going to be that second kind of person that says, I'm not going to listen to this bozo, right? I make my own destiny, and nobody can tell me what I can and can't do or how to do it, right? And that's all right. That's all right. You know, keep doing what you're doing, and we hope it works out for you. But honestly, we hope you have an open mind and are listening to what we're saying here, because it really is important that you realize that the outside forces within your life are not to blame. It's all from within. And I really want to touch on something that Chad was talking a lot about, because this is what really solidified it for me when I got into well, when I finally started seeing success in internet marketing, it's the team. We have a team here in our business, which I said earlier was in Empower Network. I'm looking at the comments that Deb Lane made out there. Collaboration at its finest with our team, and that's really what it boils down to. Our team is all about lifting each other up. We work together for a common vision. I mean, we each have different goals, but they're all pretty much aligned. I mean, we all want to see that certain levels of success, and we all work together to help each other reach our own whatever we consider to be success. And it doesn't matter that if we're connected financially or not, because honestly, most people on our team have no financial gain from each other. That's just how it works. We just built this culture from the top down, starting with Tissa Godavatani. We just built this culture there that we're not going to settle for anything other than positive attitudes, and we're not going to accept negativity at all. We just cut it out. We don't accept it in our group, and that's just the way it is. And that's a lot of people don't really grasp that you can't just cut out negativity like that. Well, yeah, you can. You really can. You see something negative, just ignore it, really. Just concentrate on all the positivity that we have going on. And it's not just in our team either. Within Empower Network, we have a product called the Inner Circle, and that's all about your mindset. That's all about getting the negativity out. When you use the Inner Circle product every day, you're going to see amazing things happen. And I don't want to get into talking about the products so much. Ed is going to touch on the company and the opportunity a little bit, but I couldn't talk about the subject without mentioning the Inner Circle, because to me, I mean, I listen to the Inner Circle daily, and it's full of people who just uplift you, motivate you, inspire you, and it makes you want to do the same thing for others. And that's where it comes back to our team. It kind of sets up the mindset that we built in our team here, and it's all about staying positive and keeping others on the team positive, even when everybody has a bad day, no matter what. Everybody has a bad day from time to time, but you surround yourself with the right people, and you're not going to have a lot of bad days, and you're going to when you're in a bad day, you can more easily get pulled out of it. So, yeah, you want to get into the right team, like what we have here in Team Tissa, and I thank God every day for this team. I've made so many amazing friends, not just business partnerships, but friendships that are going to last a lifetime. And Chad and Ed are perfect examples. And just looking out there, Deb. I mean, Deb and I met over a month ago. When we were on my wife and I and my daughter were on vacation, took a cross-country trip, and Deb and her husband actually fixed us a nice dinner and a nice steak dinner, and we had a nice visit, and it's amazing. I mean, friendships that are going to last a lifetime. So I guess that's all I have to say. I mean, just stay positive. I hope those of you who had that negative kind of external negative focus kind of thing going on, I hope that you had that aha moment now over the past 50 minutes or so that we've been here. That's what we're here for. We want to uplift you. We want to bring you in and kind of help you, and that's where we're at. So over to you, Ed. Take it away.
All right, sounds good, guys. That was awesome, man. I mean, I'm just gonna say you guys are awesome. I'm not even gonna touch or try to go over what you guys said, because you guys handled it beautifully. like the professional leaders you guys are. So thank you very much. I know I was going through a bunch of definitions of self-reflection, and there's one that kind of made the most sense. You know how they have the definitions out there? It's like all jumbled up, but the one that I found and I really liked is self-reflection. It refers to the process of consciously observing oneself in a deeper sense to try and evaluate the kind of life one is living. This will involve looking at one's thoughts, history, and feelings. Now, just by reading that and listening to, you know, what these two awesome guys have said and my little bit of input, you know, that it pretty much hits it right on the nail on the head, you know. It's all about you taking, you know, just being conscious of yourself, looking at yourself in a deeper way, and then evaluating what you see. You know, changes in your life, they don't just happen overnight. It's a process. Just like building a business does not happen overnight. It's a process. There is no such thing as instant or next day wealth. I mean, unless you're lucky enough to not be struck by lightning 3 times and win the lottery. That's about the only instant, you know, success that money success that you can have. So what I mean, what we really wanted to do with this was just to get you to start taking an honest look at yourself, and then start to understand where you're at, and then start to make some internal changes that are going to, you know, make you a better person. And what's awesome is the blame game, man. And to be honest with you, in my 4.5-year-old network marketing career, I used to make comments, not openly, to myself, you know, that the guy that brought me in, you know, my mentor, kept changing things up constantly, and, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? How are we going to do anything? You know, it keeps on changing. And then I started blaming some things on him. And it wasn't until I got involved in Empower Network that I realized, yeah, hey, he was making changes because maybe something wasn't working, and, you know, so on and so on. But the bottom line is, I didn't realize that whatever was going on there, if I wasn't having the result I wanted or whatever, had nothing to do with my mentor. It was totally on me. You know, your success or your failure in life is all dependent upon you. You have the ability within you to be successful or to be a failure. The choice is yours. It's nobody else's. Nobody else is going to turn you into a success story or turn you into a failure. Only you can do that. And what we represent here, like Chad and Paul talked about, you know, we are with Empower Network. We are proud to be an Empower Network because Empower, like it says in its title, it empowers you. It lets you create the best you possible by inspiring you and motivating you and uplifting you and keeping you on the right path. Team TISA enhances what Empower Network does because we have a culture. We have a team full of leaders and leadership, not just one person. Yes, say you sign up with Chad. You don't just have Chad. although Chad is freaking awesome, you have a team of people like Chad that are there to help answer questions, to help keep you motivated. And the same with Paul. I mean, if you join Paul, as awesome as Paul is, Paul has a team of awesome people that are surrounding all of us, keeping everybody on the right path. And that's what we want for you. You know, you need to be around that type of people. And like they both said, for 25 bucks, click the link underneath this thing. For 25 bucks, even if you're in another business and you like that business, but you're lacking support and you're lacking personal development tools and things like that, spend the $25, get in the back office. The eight core steps in there alone that come with your 25 bucks can transform you, can start to get you on the path. Then if you decide to get the other products, which we recommend because they are invaluable, you can start becoming the person you need to be to build the current business that you're in. And that's fine, okay? We're not here to pressure you into just doing Empower Network if you already love something, you know, what you're doing. But what we are encouraging you to do is blog on Empower Network's platform. It's ranked in the United States around 88, I think, and around 400 or less in the entire world. So if you want to blog about your current business, do it on the Empower Network platform because you will get seen. All right? You will get ranked. So push the button below, click on the button, push it, whatever you got to do. If you got to do this, I don't care what you do, but do it. Get yourself positioned with people that are unbelievable, that actually care about you and your success. Be it with us in Empower Network or with another company, it doesn't matter. We just want you to be successful. And in order for you to become successful, you have to follow people that are already successful and just do what they do. All right? There's no reinventing the wheel. Just do what the successful are doing. All right? So listen, this is Marketers Mastermind. We appreciate you guys. Chad, you were awesome. Paul, awesome as always. It's such a great pleasure to be associated with these guys and with Empower Network and with Team TISA. I mean, shit, I could go on and on and on. But you get the picture. Click the button. Surround yourself with the successful people so that you can become successful. That is our wish for you. Again, this is Marketers Mastermind. We love you. We believe in you. And no matter what you're doing, no matter what you get involved in, be in it to win it. Stop talking and start doing. Now let's all go out and change the world because we can. All right, God bless, guys. We love you. Thank you so much for coming. Till next week, have the best day of your life. Peace out.